What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode we're going to be mounting up the oil cooler, finishing off the exhaust, adding the fluids, getting everything prepped, and we'll be starting the M3 for the first time. Stay tuned. Alright, so I got the bumper cover on just to give me a better idea of what I have to work with, and this is where it's going to end up being mounted, and it's going to be right there in that air dam where oncoming air is going to hit it, and it'll be most efficient. So we do have the clearances we need, and I was talking about in a previous episode taking these latches out and making some L brackets to come down and mount it, but I found a better solution. They have two square holes, one right there, and they have another one right there. So I'm going to utilize those holes and make brackets off those holes to mount to the side brackets on the oil cooler, and I think that'll be the cleanest and most efficient way to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and take the rated core support off and everything, and we'll make those brackets, get it all mounted up, and then we'll mount it all back onto the car and connect our lines. Alright y'all, so the way I'm going to go about doing this is I have some aluminum flat stock. I marked it directly in the middle, and I'm going to cut it in the middle. That way I have more than enough for each side to make my bends, and then once I get the bends that I need, I'll mark them and cut them appropriately. But to get the mount made up to where it needs to be with the side holes on this bracket, it's not going to work on this square hole right here, so about an inch above is where it needs to be. So I made a mark on each side. I'm gonna drill some holes right there so I can mount some fasteners, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and bend a 90 degree right here, 90 degree right there, and then I'll have them mounted up, and then I will make marks where I need to make bends, and I'll mount it in the vise, and that's what I'm gonna use to make the bends with. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, use my measuring tape, measure twice, bend or cut once, and try to get this mounted as clean as possible. And then after it's all said and done, I'll put, the action films and time lapse, and then cut back to when it's done and show you guys how it looks in the end. All right, so the oil cooler is all mounted up and I am digging the way that it came out. We got just a simple mount I made on the side here, a simple mount on the side right there, centers it. Now, I did position it to where it sits up a little bit higher than what I first showed you guys because I needed to take some of the slack out of this bottom hose, but the way it sits is just fine because if you notice, it sits higher than the sway bar, so it's gonna give me the proper clearance I need with it in this position, and enough of it still sticks down to get the oncoming air and still make it efficient. But once we put the bumper cover over, I believe it's gonna cover most of this. But if it don't, I'll get some more clamps like this billet clamp, and I will be able to utilize them in certain areas and take up slack and make it tuck up higher. But I believe that won't be an issue, and I do like the way it came out indeed. Looks very nice. Now my buddy did finish welding up the exhaust, and I have that titanium axle back exhaust, and I showed you guys on a previous episode how it was coming apart at the welds, and he did a great job. He fixed the weld there. There was a weld coming apart on the bottom. He fixed that as well, and there was a couple cracks like that right there. He went through the whole thing and welded everything up. So that thing is good to go. We're going to be mounting that next. And my tires just came in for the rear. And I got the Achilles. Brand new rubber for the rear. And the reason I bought brand new tires is because when they got flat, I guess previous owner drove it like that. And the inside of it was shredded. When I took the tires off, a lot of the rubber debris came out. So the tires that were on it are no good. Got brand new rubber. And the front tires are actually pretty much new, so I pretty much got brand new tires all the way around now. So I'll show you the tread on that. As you can see, the tread is really nice on these tires, so practically brand new tires, and I have new tires all the way around. So he's going to be done with the wheels in a day or two. I'm not going to rush him. I want him to do a good job like he did on the exhaust, and I know he will. He's kind of meticulous about all those things, and once I get those in, hopefully they don't never crack on me again, and I'll be able to enjoy them for a long time. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to mounting that axle back up. I need to find the gaskets for it, and we'll mount it up and move on. All right, guys, so the time has finally come for me to crank this thing for the very first time. Now, I've been over everything. I got all my fluids filled up. I have the engine primed with oil. So let's go ahead now, start her up and see how she sounds. So wish me luck. All right, guys, she sounds awesome. So far, so good. I had to fill up the power steering fluid because once the pump came on, it sucked the fluid that I had in the reservoir down. The coolant right here is starting to heat up. I'm checking the fluid level. I have the heater on full blast in there, trying to get the heater to circulate the fluid through. And she is looking good so far. And when I had the DME reprogrammed, I had it to where these lights illuminate on the RPM, and that pretty much lets you know once all the oil is up to temperature, it will totally go away. So that's cool indeed. So I'm just gonna let it run for a while, make sure that I don't have any leaks anywhere, which looks like it's holding up pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it run, keep my eye on the coolant, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, she runs, and she runs great, and she's loud. Actually, a little too loud for my liking, but we'll have to take it on its first test drive in order to determine that. But I'm still waiting on a couple parts in order to complete this. I need to get the wheels back. I need to get my foam insert for the bumper cover, and it fits in here, and it has the nipples that I need in order to make that sit in there and allow the front bumper cover to latch in and hold in place. I still need to get some HID components in that I ordered so that I can fix the Genki stuff done to that. And after that, we'll be able to put it all back together and take it on its first rip, and I'm so excited to do that. But while I'm out there driving and enjoying my M3, we'll be starting on the budget K-Swap Civic after this car here shortly. So if you're here for the first time, you got that to look forward to along with the test drive. So y'all know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Definitely see you guys on the next episode.